Hello, and welcome to episode 123 of the Book Wars Pod. I'm Kate, and I'm here with Miranda and two very special guests to discuss Galaxy's Edge Black Spire by Delilah S. Dawson. So we're joined today by Mel and Rob, which we're very, very excited about. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Mel, you might recognize as Jane_Anon on Twitter, and Rob is Smooth Like Mayo, which is the truth.
Both gross and creepy.
I mean, you did this to yourself, so...
Yeah, I have nowhere I can go from this. I blame my parents. That's about it.
Oh, God.
Everything else I have to take on the chin.
I'm so glad you're here. Okay. So... Yeah, we're doing the usual bit of what is that... Do people have beverages today? What are we drinking? I just have tea because I overslept, and by overslept, I don't even want to tell y'all what time I woke up, what time I intended to wake up, and what time I actually woke up, because it's disgusting because I'm in grad school and my sleep schedule is fucked up. So it's like 3 o'clock here, and I'm like caffeinating like now, so that I feel like that gives you enough information.
Yeah, we're 100% clear.
Rob, Mal, anything?
No, I'm not drinking anything.
Yeah.
I have got an entire bottle of a lovely Jersey Table Red.
Ooh.
The cheapest wine I could find, but it's also delicious.
That sounds lovely.
And I have no glass. I am taking this right to the head.
Oh, wow.
I love that. I love that for you.
I can relate to that. Oh, God. I haven't had wine in a long time because we moved to Colorado and all they have here is beer. And also they don't sell wine in Trader Joe's anymore, so they don't have the tags that tell me what the wine tastes like. So now I'm scared to buy wine.
All you have to do...
Because I don't know anything. I'm a fucking idiot. So I'm like...
I'm sure there's an app for that.
Yeah, you go to the store, you find a bottle that's like $20 if you're feeling fancy, but then find a $20 bottle that's on sale for like $17.
Oh my God, Miranda.
Genius.
I think
Miranda,
the
what are you
bottle cost me all of 11.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good
great.
deal.
Right?
Screaming deal.
And that's why I usually buy 5 bottles of this at a time.
Who says no?
I like it. Miranda, what have you got today?
I'm drinking bourbon. For once, it's a local bourbon. I learned about this distillery last week. It's called Freeland Spirits. It is a Portland-based, entirely women-owned and operated situation.
Nice.
But figured I'd pick up some bourbon while I was picking up gin for my girlfriend's birthday last weekend, and can say that so far it's very tasty.
Oh, happy birthday to your lovely girlfriend, who I've never met, but I will one day. All right. Should we talk about Star Wars?
All right.
Maybe?
I mean, we could. Up to you.
All right. So really quickly, I know Kristen isn't here, but this is her favorite question, and when she listens, she will definitely want to know the answers. So, when and where are we in the galaxy timeline? So this book starts us off for the first few chapters or so on Dakar in the middle of Force Awakens with the destroying of the whole entire Hosnian system, which Star Wars has apparently decided to name the Hosnian Cataclysm, which I don't know. It just it sounds like the dinosaurs just went extinct or whatever. It's just very intense.
Well, I mean, billions of people did go out of existence.
If they did.
Kind of fits.
It also sounds like a cool punk band.
Yes.
That's true. I love that, actually.
Excuse me, I got to go write something down. Remind me.
That's fantastic. All right. So we start there, and then we have the time jump to a little less than a year later, I want to say, to just before Rise of Skywalker, and we've got the return of Vi Maradi from Delilah S. Dawson's first book for the Star Wars canon, which was Phasma, and we are sending her off to Batuu to set up a resistance base. So Batuu is a place that we've seen before. We saw it in Thrawn Alliances, and of course it is the setting for Disney's newest theme park attraction, which is of course Galaxy's Edge. This book is a tie into the theme park, and when it was released it was meant to kind of be an introduction to what all is there, but also have plot and characters and whatever wrapping around it, theoretically, hopefully.
Plot and characters seem like very strong words.
We're starting that now.
Wow.
We're getting into
We're
it
not
this
gonna
early?
ease into it.
I'm just
Okay. All
I'm
right.
gonna get there on like the first point about the plot. Like,
Mel and Rob, I'm not sure if you read Thrawn Alliances yet.
I haven't.
Okay.
I have not.
All right. So right now, we'll just do like real quick recap. We've got, so in Alliances, we've got Thrawn and Anakin meeting on Batuu sometime during the Clone Wars. It's got two timelines, so that's the one of them. And then the other timeline is Thrawn and Anakin having to, or rather Thrawn and Vader having to return to Batuu to investigate some weird Force shit that's going on. And so I, having read Thrawn Alliances myself pretty recently because I had to catch up on all the podcast reading because I was doing school reading while you were actually covering the book. It feels like two different places. Like to me, it feels inconsistent. I don't know, Miranda, how you felt about that.
I don't super remember how it was described in Thrawn Alliances. I think that was the one that had like a weird castle that they were running around, or like some kind of building.
Yes.
Sure.
Chris is nodding, so I'm gonna say yes.
Great. So, no. Based on that one fact alone, because I don't actually remember how Timothy Zahn described it, I'm gonna go with, yeah, you're right there. They don't feel the same, and I think part of it is like, I remember that one fact from Alliances, but like the Batuu we see here is just, it's like, oh look, it's a trading outpost. There are merchants in a cantina. And it just doesn't stand out. I'm like, this is just a very flat description. And why do we care about this?
Yeah. We're gonna come back to that point in a hot second. I just wanted to say, from what I remember of Thrawn Alliances, it seemed much more seedy. It seemed more like Mos Eisley than I think a place where, Vi's always describing the people as being like more or less like super friendly and welcoming, and they're ready to do business. And what I remember from Thrawn Alliances was there was one cantina where there was this one bartender who was just like, at any time Thrawn went in there, he was just like, get the fuck out. And I was like, this is the opposite of friendly.
Blue skin bastard.
I know, like actually though, that is basically what he said.
Space racism.
Yes. Yes.
Spacism.
It was like, which is honestly what was happening, and I just like, I don't know. I remember like it felt more like Mos Eisley. It felt like dingy and like kind of like like really forgotten, and things were not like kept up very well, and like the fucking spaceport was falling down and stuff, and so like, and so that's kind of what I like. Having read that book, going into this, it's kind of like more or less what I expected. But no, it was like, I mean, it was like coming into this book like Batu, like Black Spire Outpost. It feels, funnily enough, like a fucking Disney park. It's like happy, shiny, whatever.
It was very sanitized.
Yeah, I thought so. Rob, did you have?
Yeah, I got some of that from reading just this book and Nocturnal Alliances. Like I got it's still kind of dingy. You can't really tell what's old and what's new. They built stuff on top of other stuff. You know, I got that in the first like 20 pages.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we do see it, like there is a seedy part of the outpost like called out. I think they call it like Smuggler's Alley.
Oh right, yeah.
But I think that part of it is Vi's looking to, like at it through just with really wide eyes. Because she's like trying to find a spot for the base and like, oh, look at this. Their people are nice and I can make them be rebels. I'm a spy.
Even the local gangster wasn't that scary.
You know, isn't the first rule of spycraft not to run around telling everybody you're a spy?
Apparently
Oh
not.
man. Oh man. We're gonna get to that, but I just like every single time she was like, by the way, I am with the resistance. I was like, what are you doing? It was okay.
The people are so friendly, though.
Yes. Kind of like related topic, like so. I don't think anyone here has been to the actual real life Galaxy's Edge at either Disney.
No.
Okay. Chris and I were supposed to go, and then we had a small problem called a pandemic happened, and so
Yeah,
and then we did not go because
that was supposed to be the plan for next month.
Oh, sad. Yeah.
Hey man,
No,
House Finalizer was going to get back together.
I know it was gonna be great, and now
Not so much.
now we're trapped inside. But how was this book working for us as an introduction to the actual like theme park? Like,
So, here's one of my complaints and praises at the same time. If I'm reading a book and it has this level of detail in describing every single rooftop, every single, hallway, corridor, tarps over there, there's a lot of detail. Probably more than I want to read in a novel. However, in the direct tie to Galaxy's Edge, that amount of detail paints so much of the picture that now when I go to see Galaxy's Edge, when I actually go out there, I'm going to be looking for stuff to compare to. Like, she has, pink tendrils over her mouth and, this thing's got black eyes. I'm actually going to start looking for those things. And, I hope to come across a Kenny Rogers Ronto Roasters.
Yeah, I think she made a huge point of describing the architecture and also weaving in the names of various, like, I don't know. I was like things. Like various like businesses and whatever.
Yeah, like the food stalls like in the marketplace. I imagine those are gonna be like where you spend $20 on 3 French fries.
Yeah.
It's exactly where.
Yeah.
But see, now I want the pod racer engine to actually roast the food.
Yeah.
I want to
Yes.
see that.
And that's not going to
Yes.
happen.
I know.
This is setting up high expectations that are not going to be met.
Just lets me fail.
Stop lying
Yeah.
to me.
By the way, just one little thing I'm going to pick at here.
For
There
sure.
will be others.
Yes.
I don't know if creamy is the word I'd use to describe stone, wood, or the inside of a cockroach.
What?
You know what? I would describe the inside of a cockroach as creamy.
Oh god, I'd forgotten about that.
Like sometimes you step on them and they like all that, goo comes out.
Maybe not creamy. Gooey. Gooey, sure. Creamy?
Yeah, I don't know. Space cockroaches, you never know with them.
I mean, maybe it is creamy for them.
Yeah, who knows?
It's like
I
a
don't-
Bavarian cream. Very smooth.
Free protein with a creamy center.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm just gonna move us right along. I'm just gonna leave that right there and move right along. Oh god. What was I gonna... I had like... Damn it, I had a point that was not about cockroaches and it flew out of my head because I'm just thinking about cockroaches. Oh, yeah, I think, like, Oga's Cantina is, like, for example, is a real place in the park. And I think she, like, actually used, like, the names of the drinks that, like, people have been, like, slapping on Instagram and making me jealous about. It's like,
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Then.
yeah.
yeah.
There better be a tap with a lightsaber and, like, 3 or 4 Rancor teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was that much detail in the description that I actually remember that having put the book down.
Yeah.
Right.
See, the only thing with that is if they don't do that at the park, like, I
Much-
don't think it's
much
something that
disappointing.
Disney would miss. But this book isn't exactly of the highest quality,
Yeah.
so I have concerns about the consistency.
Yeah. How would you feel if you, like, went there and, like, stuff wasn't as described, I guess?
Oh, I'm flipping tables.
I mean, it would be. I'd feel like, okay, this is just another example of them ignoring the books.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, we established this in the book, but no, we're gonna ignore it completely for the theme park, for the shows, for the movies. Because we don't need that, to match. We don't need it.
I feel that deep in my soul. I just, like, I could talk about this for hours, which I won't because nobody wants to listen to that. But, like, yeah, no, I totally agree with that. All right. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Where am I in this outline? Sorry. I just, like, I'm thinking about cockroaches again. I hate you, Rob. All right. I think
You love me.
I do, which is why you're on here, even though I'm screaming at you. So I think the last thing I wanted to talk about, like, kind of plot-wise, and then we'll get into larger implications of the writing, etc. Haha. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about plot-wise were Vi and Archex as characters.
Ooh.
Which I think is probably a good lead-in to what other things that we really, really want to talk about. I don't know if y'all have read Phasma, where Vi and Archex were introduced for, like, kind of a minute.
No, I haven't read it.
Okay.
You don't need to.
Yeah, you really don't. It's like the book is obviously mostly about Phasma, and it just the backstory where Vi's talking about how Archex was Cardinal and he tortured her, like, all that is, like, kind of a framing device for Phasma's story, because Vi's kind of telling Archex / Cardinal, like, about Phasma's backstory or whatever, as she's being tortured, which was super fun.
I mean, who doesn't like a
So-
little torture?
Oh yeah, just a smidgen. This book
Just a
had, like,
sprinkle.
I don't. Yeah,
Like Salt Bay, just a sprinkle on top.
It's fun for the whole family.
oh my god. This book had more like honestly, it's just like my dad back before he knew how to cook, and he just, like, poured the whole salt shaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is an apt analogy.
Yes. Which we'll also talk about in a hot second. But since Miranda, I think you did read Phasma.
Yes.
Do you feel like, how do you feel about Vi and Archex as, I don't know, except, like, I don't, like, how, I guess their character arcs from there to here.
Oh, that is a very bold question. You're assuming that I haven't purposely forgotten most of what happened in Phasma.
Oh my god.
Obviously the big kind of arc is, Archax realizes that, like, maybe the First Order isn't super great. And, like, Vi kind of steals him from the Star Destroyer, and now he's, like, not really resistant, but good enough that they can be like, you can go on a mission. It's fine. So it's interesting to see, like, I guess how he progresses with that. I don't know if it's super effective.
Right.
I don't have a whole lot to offer up here. I mean, he tortured her,
Yeah.
and now he's not torturing her,
Yeah.
but they're living together on a planet in the middle of space nowhere.
Space nowhere. Yeah, with Archek specifically, I just feel like, so we see in Phasma how Vi kind of turns him to, if not to the Resistance, away from the First Order, and then he spends obviously most of Black Spire trying to figure out what he is doing with himself, and he never really gets there, and then he dies.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, that just felt really incomplete to me.
Yeah, it feels like an easy way out.
Yeah. Almost like the author didn't really know what to do with him, so she's like, guess he'll die.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, he'll sacrifice himself. That makes him a good character now, right?
I guess so. That's how it works in Star Wars, though. You just need one big sacrifice, and then it redeems everything.
That's what Rise of Skywalker told me.
I mean, Vader too.
That's yes. Rob, I heard you mumble something.
I can't really argue with that.
That's yeah. And then for Vi, she has these. Obviously, she has these recurring, I guess, chronic pain from the torture that she suffered at the hands of Archax, which was great. But I feel like, kind of like aside from her kind of periodically reliving that trauma, she kind of feels at her core the same kind of person. I think she's always plucky. She's always, ready to step in, and I guess, like, also kind of to sacrifice herself for other people. But I don't know. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Like, but aside from the author putting her through yet more adversity, I'm not sure how much of a change there is in her character from, like, beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't believe her.
I think she's, like, just consistently
I had to
very,
suspend
like,
all belief to, like, get into
pro-resistance,
this character.
which is good because she's in it.
Because I'm like,
but
I'm sorry, if somebody tortured
like,
me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to turn around and say he's a good man. No. You tortured me. I don't care if you made, like, an about face. You're like, I'm not with the First Order anymore. You tortured me. That will always be forefront in my mind.
Yeah.
I still have difficulty fathoming why Leia even put them together. Like, why would you? What purpose could that serve?
This is...
Yes. So, yeah, go for it, Mel.
I'm just like, this is where, if this wasn't a black woman, I would feel differently about it. But since it is a black woman, there's that stereotype of the strong black woman that can withstand more pain than anyone else, will be more forgiving than anyone else, and this is what we see in this character.
Hey everyone, it's Chris. Unfortunately, this is the point in the recording where we had some technical difficulties and lost about 2 minutes of audio of Mel and Miranda talking about their issues with Vi and Leia's characterizations in Black Spire. We're very sorry to you that you missed that conversation. We're very, very sorry to Mel and Miranda. Anyway, we're picking back up right where we got our audio back. And thanks for understanding, and please enjoy the rest of the episode.
Yeah. I yeah, after Leia like having read Bloodline and also other things, just generally speaking, of Leia, kind of reflecting on the way she was tortured by Vader in A New Hope. It really feels like she would not just put a person and their abuser slash torturer in the same place.
Even if he had been redeemed.
Uh-huh. Correct.
Because she was like, fuck Vader.
Yes. Absolutely. I
mean,
yeah.
Leia's usually a lot more, like, understanding and empathetic with her soldiers. And I didn't really see that here.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I was finishing up the book earlier because I just did not get a chance to read this week because I had to do a bunch of I had to take a crash course in how to teach my kids this fall because we're going to be teaching online and I don't know how any buttons work. So I finished this book kind of late, but I was just reading the part earlier today where Vi's finally able to call her basically and say, "Hey, everything's fucked," and Leia's like, "Cool, make it work. Bye." And I was like, "What is that?"
Leia said, "You'll be the fuck okay."
Like, this is your mission, deal with it.
I know. She was just like, "Here, I am going to give you nothing. And then you're going to make it work." And I was just like, "What the fuck is this about?"
Yeah, and so she's usually nicer, obviously, but also, and this is one of my kind of complaints about the book as a whole, Leia's usually a lot more subtle. Like, at the beginning when she's, kind of briefing Vi on what the mission's gonna be, it's like very, propaganda. We're doing good. We're the resistance. You can do this. And it's like,
It was kind of a hammer. It was a blunt object.
Yeah, it's like, we all know this. You're the resistance. Why are you telling us?
Honestly, a lot of the writing in this book was a blunt object.
I mean, not wrong.
If I'm
That whole interaction, that briefing, that so rubbed me the wrong way. And this kind of goes to how I feel about how Vi's character was written. It's as if you had never met a black woman. It was as if you had only seen one on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then only one.
And only one.
God,
and that
yes.
whole interaction, it's like, why do you seem like you have an attitude right now? Like, there are times to have an attitude. This isn't one of them.
It was bizarre. It's like the whole thing is fucking bizarre.
It just felt so off.
Yeah. I don't this is not an excuse for the author, but I just there's that, and the other thing is I wonder, so I know she writes for a lot of different age groups, including middle grade and whatnot, and I'm like, were you writing this book concurrently with a middle grade book? Because the writing style was just I was she was just repeating things nonstop and just being just the amount of telling versus showing was just so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
That was Archex's whole character.
Uh-huh.
His whole character arc was just telling, and then showing 10%.
Yes. That's awfully generous of you.
I'm trying to be nice.
10%. Yeah.
I'm even with the black woman thing, I'm trying to give a little leeway because space black is different than our black, but...
True.
But there's only so much that I can give. I'm I'm still reading this through my eyes, which are affected by my experiences.
For sure.
Absolutely, but come on, you gotta admit, even the wig thing.
Oh, the wig thing.
Oh my god.
It's like she's untwisting her hair. Are you describing a protective style? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Because that's what black women have.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We have wigs and protective styles.
All of it. All of them.
Multiple wigs.
All the time. Constantly. And you think about it a lot. That's 50% of what you think about on a daily basis. I know. Obviously.
That wigs and not getting the hair wet.
Yes. Because that was 50% of this book. I was like, what the fuck is this about? I just so
Yeah.
confused. It was a lot. It was a bunch.
And I say this as a black woman who does have multiple wigs and knits.
Sure. Yeah. I just, oh man.
I found this hard to believe.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad you brought that up because like I was just talking to Southern Cynic, friend of the
Oh,
pod.
baby. I love me some Southern Cynic.
And she was just like, ah, God, what did she say? She was like, it's like the author looked up on Twitter like black women talking about their hair, and that's all the research she did.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not an inaccurate depiction,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll retweet this from the pod account, but back when the book was released and SC had read it, she put together a thread pointing out the whole lot of things that are going on with depictions of like black women in this book. But just to excerpt that a little bit, one of the things she said was, the entire time I was reading this, expecting to really learn more about Vi, find some part of her that could imprint on me as a black woman and a Star Wars fan, I had to wonder, did the author not ask one black person to skim over this?
Yeah.
Do you not have editors? Someone that could have just pulled your coat for just a second and said, maybe this isn't good.
Yeah.
Probably
Totally.
not. If there were no black editors, then they all just thought that's fine.
I think
It's
so.
like, how come nobody is in Talib Kweli's corner going, hey man, pull up.
Well,
Yeah.
you surround yourself with dirty people, and this is what happens.
No? Okay.
Like, Chris and I were discussing this, and, like, we were, like, thinking about it, and we're like, so, the Star Wars arm of Del Rey has 2 editors, both of whom we know are white, the guy who's in charge of publishing at Lucasfilm, somebody else who's at Lucasfilm, like, just specifically at Lucasfilm Publishing, and then there's the story group. Somebody in the story group had to have looked at this to, like, approve whatever the fuck. And then this had to have gone through at least a proofreader, if not a proofreader and a copy editor. So at least 6 people looked at this book, supposedly read this book, and were like, sure, this is fine.
Hire more black folk.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All I gotta
That's
say
pretty
about
much
that.
it.
Yep. Totally.
Right, it's gonna be real difficult not being a black folk to write as a black folk.
Yes.
Yeah, hire black writers. Like, I don't understand why Delilah Dawson was the person to write this book
Mm-hmm.
and to tell the story.
Yeah. Other things SC noted. Vi's voice seemed generic. I don't even remember half of what it was she did in the book besides order raps. Everything seemed one note and bland. I get this was the launch story of Galaxy's Edge and Black Spire, but you could have put anyone in a Resistance jacket and it would have worked. Which, yeah, I agree with.
If you put anyone else in that resistant jacket, it probably would have been better because, like, I don't believe this of a spy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're supposed to be subtle, sneaky.
Yeah.
None of these things are Vi.
Yeah.
If I cover this bright orange jacket with a scarf, I'll blend in.
Lose the jacket. Why are you so attached to it?
I know. Like,
Because
also,
it's got this giant rebel logo on it.
but, like,
You're a spy.
why wear that in the first place? It was just, everything was so, like, and again, it was like a lot of telling of, well, Vi is Leia's like top Resistance spy, and I was like,
How?
yes, absolutely bizarre. Like cool concept for a black woman to be their top spy, but also like she's completely fucking incompetent. So like, what does that say? Nothing good.
Well, this is
Yeah.
why we had no allies at the end of Last Jedi.
Yeah, y'all are just bad at your job.
They're bad.
No, but you see, if you wear the jacket that has the giant rebel symbol on you, then people won't think that you're a spy because you're being very obvious about it, and a spy would never be that dumb and bad
Better
at their
yet,
jobs.
you can recruit everyone to the resistance. Nobody will respect your resistance.
Just gonna
Don't
talk about this
question the
very
plan.
loudly.
Don't question the
Yeah.
plan, it just works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god, the amount of times I was just like face palming over it was just astronomical, honestly.
I mean, I felt bad for her because I'm like, so you talked about being a resistance spy very loudly in a very public place, and then later wondered who narked on you.
On your first day at work.
The poor. She's out of her depth here.
I know.
On your first day at work, you get sent to the HR person. It's a giant man shark.
Oh god. Oh my god. Yeah. I think the other thing I want to talk about, especially with Vi and how she's portrayed, is of course she's a black woman, and we have just discussed all of the things that went wrong there that the author did. But she's also depicted as Ace. And how I go back and forth on like how I feel like that was handled and
I mean,
introduced.
really, if they're not portrayed as a complete robot with no feelings, then I count that as a win.
You know, that's super fair. That is so fucking fair. Because, yeah, no, the way folks are portrayed in most cases is fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just, you know, did you know, it's like every other thing is like, did you know that because you're Ace that you have literally no feelings ever and don't care about anyone?
No, of course not.
Yeah, why would you? What? Yeah.
And she wasn't broken. I mean, she was, but not because of that.
That's true. Yeah, no. I know a lot of Ace folks were definitely happier about that side of her identity than others. So I'm glad to hear that worked for you. If like just like to give this book like literally one thing, I'm really glad that worked for you.
And it was the bar is so low.
I know, and
So
it's which is like, oh god, that breaks my heart. It's terrible. But no, I'm glad that that's present at least, because so many other things in this book are just like not there. Yeah, totally. So very quickly too, just wanted to touch on Archex, his depiction. He's described as an East Asian man, and myself as an East Asian person. I was just like, you have introduced another East Asian dude character who is just like he cares about rules and order and is bad at creative thinking and having fun and is sexually inept and I was like, and then you didn't know what to do with him, so you blew him up. Like, what the fuck happened here?
Oh god.
Yeah, it's just like, thank you for throwing together like just a bunch of like stereotypes about Asian dudes, and then furthermore just turning him into itty bitty pieces.
My question is, was Archex Asian before the book was written, or was he Asian after it was written and they're trying to, develop media and stuff? Because I tried to take an objective look at that, and if it was written before the book, holy shit. If it was written if it was that he was Asian after the book was written, I'm out for blood, because somebody said all these things about Archex equates to, oh yeah, I have the perfect picture of this East Asian, basically broken individual, and I don't know which I'd rather be more, man.
Yeah, I think he was. When he was introduced with Phasma, I know that like, at least when the book was released, like they released some like character art of him, and he was definitely Asian there. So, yeah, I feel like the author had to have gone into this book like having that in mind, and then just decided to carry forth with this here shit.
I mean,
So
it's like that. I'm gonna go plow ahead without asking anybody. Sensitivity readers, nothing. Just I got this. I got this, and you don't got this.
yeah,
I mean, that seems to be the general theme of the book. Girl,
Yeah.
you don't got this.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't have the range.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you're. I think it's a great like thing to point out, though, Rob. That like this, like, it almost. I hate to use the word shoehorn because like fucking dumb fucking racists use that word all the time, like talking about quote unquote forced diversity, which is fake.
Absolutely fake.
Yes, for anyone listening who might think that's a real thing. Number one, that's fake. Number two, please stop listening to my podcast. But yeah, it's like it's kind of like that's just sounds similar to what Essie was getting at with Vi's character. Like she, again, author went into this book, like, you know, with this character in mind as being a black woman, but also like it's just like if I put enough references to her wig in here, then it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not enough just to have us in the book. You have to write us right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, make an effort.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Absolutely.
almost surprised I didn't see something written like Archex couldn't drive or something like that. Like,
Oh my god, I know.
it's like every time I turn a page of description, I'm just waiting for it. Sometimes I got it, particularly with Vi. Like, again, the untwisting her hair and the wigs and the getting her hair wet thing. Like, every time it's like,
Oh my
here it comes, and yep, there it is.
The checklist.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, truly.
we're playing racist trope bingo.
Oh my god. I think Keeks has the ebook version. I need to ask her like to do like a word search thing of like how many times the word wig is used in this fucking book, and then just like take an average of like every 30 pages. There it is. She's just
Page 28, bitch stole my wig. Page 56, there's my wigs again.
Jesus.
And what is this wig doing for you? It's not hiding your face.
Right?
So
it's
they
blue-
can still
it's blue
tell
at the
it's you.
tips. That's
Yup.
it.
Yeah, it's blue at the tip, so you can't recognize her.
I know sometimes white people have a problem with recognizing us once we've changed our hair color or hairstyle, but
Yes.
Yeah.
they can still look at your face and see that's your face.
And also, like, it's Star Wars. They have the technology. They know it's
Yeah.
you. Oh god. Yeah. No. I was reading, and I should know what I was in for when I got to like I think it was like page 18 or something like that, and it was a sentence where Vi was thinking about Archex, and the author really put Archex and the word squinting in the same sentence.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, Kate, page 20. I found it.
There it is.
I
Page
found
20. I just put the book down and I looked at Chris and I was just like,
It took me till about page 30 to put the book down. Like, I'm not sure I can do this.
yeah, and you know, all joking aside, I appreciate very much all of us like getting through this together.
I mean, I had to buy this. I couldn't even get it from the library.
Oh no!
Oh,
feel like-
yeah.
I legit feel like we should reimburse y'all because, like, oh my god, like, just,
Oh, no, I'm actually glad I bought it because I at least got to see what the level of, wow, this is what y'all think of us is out there.
oh man,
Especially when it's not deliberately malicious. It's still like,
Mhm.
this is your perception.
yeah.
Wow, that's kind of broken.
Yeah. I mean, there was I mean well all over this book, but
Oh yeah.
it was so obvious, like, you
Yeah.
don't know anybody from these backgrounds in your social circle that
Mhm.
you can ask about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Geez, I'm trying to remember. So, but there was a point before Star Wars Celebration Chicago, like maybe a month or so before it happened, where the author was tweeting about how she wanted to get better at writing characters of color, and now looking at this book, I'm just like, yes, there's certainly room for improvement. But we as a response, like I can't remember who it was. It might have been SC. But Star Wars What Matters had a panel at Star Wars Celebration Chicago where
I was there.
Oh my
So
god,
was I.
yay! That's amazing. I don't like. I feel like I probably met you and then just because I was so high
Honestly.
the night before.
Shut
Rob was
up,
there.
Kate.
I was so high. It was not great.
No, I saw you and I failed to introduce myself because who the hell am I?
I know you.
Yeah, right.
I walked right past you.
Oh my god.
Well, next time, stop and say hi.
Yes, I will.
Yes. No, absolutely. God, I was just like, anyway, I was weed hungover, so that's my.
So weed hungover.
Who's
You
not?
guys had a
who's not
better
great.
time than I did.
Oh, you should have come see about our party. 'Cause,
You're 10,000% hanging out with us next time.
Next
next
celebration.
time, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so we had a panel on which I sat while I was weed hungover, which was probably a great idea. But anyway,
60% of the panel was.
yeah, that's also true. We're great. Invite us back, Star Wars Celebration. But we had invited the author to come to the panel before it was well before it was held. To hear real people talking about the issues that matter to them.
Also known as her side of it.
Yes, exactly. And so yeah, we invited her, and we got no response. She was definitely responding to other people in the thread who were like, it was like a bunch of white people being like, "Oh, you do fine. You do not do fine."
She does not do
actually
fine.
Did respond. She just kind of blew her off.
Oh, okay. So
She was like, "Oh, I can't at that time," and then didn't respond to anything else. Even when people were sending her like other threats from Red Matters.
well, that's nice.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but that was just a. I don't know if it makes it better or worse, but that was
Yeah.
what her reaction was.
Right. Well, I think Chris, remind me, this book came out after Star Wars Celebration Chicago.
Give me a second.
Chris is Googling. Yeah, there was no offer to get back
That
to
was,
us later or
April
anything.
4th, right?
Yes.
It did.
Yeah, so
End of
this
August.
yeah, okay. So if this book came out the end of August of that year, this book must have been in post-production at that time, which is still not too late to fix things, but she just decided to still not be listening to people.
I mean,
Ooh.
to fix things, she'd have to rewrite most of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by
That-
the way, why the hell is this book 400 pages?
What a great question.
400 pages of not a whole lot of book.
Uh-huh.
A lot of torture, though. So much
Yes.
torture.
So much torture. Oh my god. Graphic torture too. It wasn't even just I don't know, she was getting tortured and the screen went to black or whatever you want to say about it. It was detailed, I have a scalpel on your eyeball, and I was like, why is this necessary?
Oh, she went in on the torture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if we want to spin to the movies real quick, in A New Hope, Vader tortures Leia, but we know that because the torture droid flies into the room cell thing, and then we see nothing, and that's enough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
Or maybe like 2 sparks in front of Han Solo's face. You know they're jacking him up, but you don't see it. The scream is off screen.
Mhm.
This
You see, like, the after effect of what happened to Poe, but you don't
Yes.
actually
Right.
see what happened to Poe.
Yes.
what did happen to Poe?
I don't want to know.
Poor guy. Oh God.
He went through a lot.
Mm.
And
But-
it didn't seem like it was his first rodeo.
Yes.
Well, if the resistance is this bad.
Oh my God. Right. But yeah, like, no, like Mel, you made a good point a few seconds ago when you were like, fixing this would have required rewriting this entire book and/or finding another author, but also like, they could have delayed it, they could have canceled it, they could have done something about it. That's not what happened. And yeah, I don't know. It's like when you're asking people for things and people are like trying to throw you a bone, it is really should not be that hard to respond to people and accept that. Like, we got Jason Fry to come to this panel somehow, which was lovely of him. And he got a lot of flack for his portrayal of Rose in the Last Jedi novelization that he wrote, and he's fully admitted, like, I fucked up, which, like, as an East Asian person, I appreciate that. The character's not East, or rather, the actress is not East Asian, but still, as an Asian person, I appreciate that. Like, what the author has done here and what she has failed to do since then, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we got a few listener comments, less questions. Many of them having to do with, like, the whole premise of this book, like, which centers around, like, just throwing Vi and Archex together. So Jason, who is at FlatterYou on Twitter, says, when I first read the book, the only thing I could focus on was how disturbing and personally re-traumatizing it was to base an entire book around Vi having to work with her abuser at the behest of Leia. I hoped the whole time it would end with some recognition or healing, and regretfully included with I don't even know what. Some BS about everyone choosing to move on. And I'm like, Jason, it ended with Archex getting blown up and no closure. So that's cool. Daniel, who, longtime listener, member of the Tashi Station Patreon Slack, said, I'm sure it'll get covered, which it did, but I'd like to hear your thoughts about the entire premise of the mission. Leia sending Vi on a secret mission with her torturers and he's completely out of character for a few of those characters, which, like, yes. Diana also wanted to comment on this, also in the Patreon Slack. Do you think there was a way... Here's a good question for all of us. Do you think there was any way to salvage the story starting from this premise of Leia just, like, throwing Vi and Archex together?
No.
Well, that would be a whole new story, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be a whole new story.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be okay with that.
Like, if she tried to kill him, then I could see that happening.
At least once.
Yes.
At least once.
It was like, no, we're going to sleep right here next to each other because we're cool.
Because he's a good guy, and she saw that. Deep down,
Like,
he's good.
You've been turned and deprogrammed, but you're 100% okay. I can see that. It's right on your face.
She can tell that with her
That's
spy
good.
skills.
Yep.
Really comfortable sleeping next to you. Come on!
I know. God.
It's so unhealthy.
I know. It's terrible. It's awful. It's just like, it's like, oh, the amount of terrible things it says. Jesus. Nancy Schwartz, who our beloved pod mom and co-owner of our podcast network, do you think the story might have worked better if Cardinal's point of view had been included? Should this have been his book instead of Vi's? Interesting question, since I feel like the author had no idea what to do with this character. So I don't even know what the hell would have come out in this book if it had been from Cardinal's point of view.
I mean, mostly he just sat in the jungle.
And, like,
And
just...
I gotta be honest, nobody's going to that theme park.
It's true. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I honestly, I don't, like, if there was anything to salvage from this book, I personally would say that would not be the way to go about it. I don't think that would have made a whole lot of difference in terms of this book being acceptable by any standard. Like, yeah.
And
Yes.
I know that Nancy also kind of said this in the Slack, like more of a storyline plot kind of thing, but I also don't trust the author with, writing it through another point of view if the other character is a person of color.
Yeah.
Like she didn't do it well already. I think a lot of the same problems would be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It probably would
Yeah,
be
I don't-
worse. I'm like, you get his guilt over torturing her and not her reaction to it.
Yeah.
So it would be all about his man pain. And not about the damage that he did to somebody else.
That is such a great point. I absolutely think that. Plus, like, I don't even want to know how many references to Archie's, like, squinting at things that we would get, but, like, it probably would have been a lot. just like bunches. So...
Like, damn, there's a sunrise every 6 minutes on that, too.
Oh my god. But also that's totally what would have happened. Alright. Final comment we got again from SC, who, as we know, had strong feelings about this book, as she has a right to. She says, as a suggestion for any physical copies, the only way I finally found this book to be enjoyable was when I danced around the flames and ash as I burned it in the fire pit out back next to dead leaves and broken bottles. It filled my heart with joy. It was only then that the spirit of Vi could have and should have been... The spirit of what Vi could have and should have been was released. Erase the memory of it, then give it to a black author and let them fix it at the end.
I mean...
Mm-hmm.
Slow clap. Slow clap.
You know, I went on Goodreads after I read this to see what other people thought. And this has, like, a good rating. A lot of people really like this book.
That blew my mind. I saw that too.
Was How to Be Black one of the titles?
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I also was just like, also just very curious. I just looked it up on Goodreads and I was just like, are all of you people just like, I don't know, like what kind of Kool-Aid are you drinking and can I have some? Because it must be some good shit. Like,
That's
just
that
gonna
Kool-Aid
pop
with
in
the
and say, I
THC.
think that's the power of white people.
Mm-hmm.
The power of white people.
Like, that's just like white people reading a book about anyone who's not white. They're like, this is really good. Even when it clearly is not.
why are y'all like this?
I can't tell you.
Oh god. All right. Well.
They like it because they can relate to it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I mean, the
Stop me when I say
stereotypes
something
seem like truth, so...
Stop me when I say something wrong.
And you know what? I cannot stop you, sir.
But you knew that.
Exactly. All right. Do we have any final thoughts about this thing we all read?
Yeah, that a resounding echo of nothing.
just
Collectively, we have nothing.
mm-hmm. So
I would say, like, I got to the end, and Kylo Ren was gonna show up, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Not this.
mm-hmm.
On top of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, again, I wonder who told on me. Anybody. Everybody.
You know what I'm just now reminded of? Do you guys remember in the first Matrix movie when Cypher had been discovered to be the mole and he was unplugging everybody and he looks to one of the of the characters to pull out her cord, and she looks back and says, "Not like this. Not like this."
God damn it.
That's kind of how I feel.
Chris is like silently cheering in the background. All right. I mean, what else is there to say, honestly? That was just perfect. All right, well, thank you so much, Mel and Rob, for, first of all, taking the time to join us, taking the time to read whatever the fuck this was. We appreciate your perspective, because unlike Delilah, we realized we did not have the range to talk about this in the manner that it should be, so we appreciate
But at least
you.
you have black friends.
Yeah. Yeah, that's,
Yeah,
and there it is.
that's
We
it,
have heard-
exactly.
Yeah, no,
Clearly
we have,
somebody did not.
yeah. But no, seriously, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and being honest, and yeah,
Absolutely. It was a pleasure being here. I had a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
yeah, we would love to have you back whenever you want. So, yay.
Can it be a
Would you
good
like-
book?
Yeah, I was about to
Yes!
say hopefully for a better book.
Yes,
time.
yes, it can be a
Next
good
It's kind
book.
of a bummer.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my god. Yes. We owe you dinner and drinks and whatever whenever we get to hang out. So hold us to that.
SWCA, whenever the hell that happens.
yes, but hold us to it because we mean it.
2022.
Yes, 2022. We're buying you dinner and drinks.
And look,
1,000%.
I already bought tickets. They better give me something, a refund. I'll put it to the next time they have something.
All right.
Credit for the year 2023 when we get let out of lockdown.
Oh my god, I know. Maybe, hopefully.
Maybe.
If anyone, if we ever figure out what the fuck we're doing with this pandemic, whatever.
I think that's another white people thing, and we're really fucking it up.
Before another Disney grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah, right? Oh my god.
Just close. It's not hard. Just close. You have so much money. You don't need to be open.
All the money.
But
So
they could
much
make
money.
more money.
Everybody got Disney Plus for Marvel content in Hamilton. You're making money.
You
You
have Marvel money. You have Star Wars money. Come
all
on.
the money.
All the money.
All the money. Hell,
You
got
could take a year
Simpsons
off
money.
and be fine.
Yes. Probably take 10 years off and be fine. They own fucking everything.
Exactly.
Instead,
being so
you're gonna be
greedy.
Instead, you're going to be the most Florida thing possible.
Oh, man.
And this is why the new epicenter is Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Not even like Central Florida, which is the worst of the Floridas. Directly in Orlando.
I saw a really great Photoshop of somebody turned Epcot into like a COVID germ.
It's just
And that kind of says it all.
rings kind of true.
Yeah.
Rob and Mel, do you want to tell the people where to find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, you can find me at Smooth Like Mayo on Twitter. Yeah, it's where I just have movie opinions and shout very loudly at idiocy.
You can find me at Jane_Anon on Twitter, and I'm also the co-host of the Nerds of Prey podcast.
Yay. We love podcasts.
Yay!
So so yes, please give these two a follow. They are obviously lovely humans, but also lovely Twitter presences as well. Stay inside. Unless you're protesting white people being assholes, then wear a mask and don't breathe on anybody. Next episode, we are talking about Resistance Reborn by Rebecca Roanhorse. We're reading through chapter 9. Real excited to talk about it because we're real excited that Rebecca Roanhorse is writing in the Star Wars universe. She is also the author of Trail of Lightning, which you may or may not have heard of. Also highly recommend that. You can find Book Wars Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, at Book Wars Pod. You can email us, bookwarspod@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe to both us and the Tashi Station Radio Mega Feed. doing that helps people find this dumpster fire of a podcast. Not so much this episode. This episode is lovely because, we've got this just super elevated by our guests, but usually it's a dumpster fire. So
Actual thoughts.
yes, I know. Instead of just like verbal shit posting.
You had me on, right? I only add fuel to the dumpster fire.
But like, it's like useful fuel.
Fuel?
Yeah. It's good.
Is it creamy though?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Thank you. Good night.
Oh Jesus. Please donate to please don't give us money right now because we're doing fine. We don't need it. We suggest you donate to Aid to Abolition, which is find out more about them. aidtoabolition.com. Our theme song is Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. Our logo and artwork are by Joby Terra Design. I'm Kate and I'm here with Miranda and Mel and Rob, and we will talk to you. I was gonna say next week, but it's us, so whenever the fuck we record another episode. Bye.
Bye.